things. And I think at the end of the day, we look at it like, we're the quote workhorse, and America owes us because of our history and everything that we've done. And it's like, so now you have Kamala, who, kind of comes out of nowhere, and who never really says that she's black. I mean, that's a whole thing. She never really identifies
Mm-hmm.
as like, she says a lot of things. She says she's an AKA. She says she went to HBCU, but she never really said that I am black, or at least I'm a black American, or not. And she's not. I mean, she's definitely not black American, but I don't even think she's ever solidly identified as black. But
Mm-mm.
for whatever reason, we see her as our hope. We're like, okay, this represents hope. This represents all the things that we've been through. Now, finally, we can rest our hopes and our trust in this woman. She's going to save us. America owes us. Black men owe us. Our jobs owe us. Everybody owes us. So now she's going, and be clear, she actually said she wasn't going to save us. She said pretty clearly she's not really going to do anything for black people. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, we still want to look at her as our hope. And so then when she lost, we take it like it's personal, because again, this feeling of somebody owes us something.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I never look at any, and this is just in general in life, I don't look at life through a lens of, I don't think people owe me anything. I
Yeah.
think I need to work hard. I need to prove myself. Now, granted, again, there is reparations, and there's an argument to be made that that is something that we are owed, but
Mm-hmm.
we've been over 400 years, like, we're not getting it.
Yeah.
So that is going to be my first point as far as why black women take it personal, is
Mm-hmm.
because they're looking at it from a standpoint of they're deserving of this. Never mind the fact that the person, Kamala in this case, doesn't even really identify, in my opinion, I don't think she even really identifies with black women the way they identify with her. You know what I mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
she said a lot. She tried to align herself with black women, but
Mm-hmm.
the reality is she could never admit what Barack Obama was able to admit, because that's another thing. I think black women are like, well, Obama was able to do it, so they want to make it like it must be a gender thing, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, if he was able to do it, why not her? But you have to understand that he did it in a different way. One, he did align with the black community. He wasn't afraid to say he was black. He had a black wife. He
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of other things that made the community more comfortable.
Yeah.
And the times were different. You got to look at, he knew how to read the room. Like right now, people are like, I just bought some eggs the other day and they were $5. I was like,
Yeah.
what in the, when did eggs get so expensive? But like, part of it is looking at the environment and realizing that people are just in a different mind frame. And
Mm-hmm.
Kamala did not, unfortunately, speak to and take serious enough, in my opinion, some of the everyday issues that people are really struggling with. And
Yes.
so, yeah, there's all that kind of mixed together. And so for me, I was not surprised.
No, I wasn't
I was
surprised
just,
either.
yeah, and I'm just like,
I,
I don't know
I was more
why
surprised that people were surprised. I was like, you didn't
that's
see
what
this
I'm
coming?
saying. My biggest surprise was that people were surprised, black women in
Yes.
particular. Why are you shocked that, you know, and then one more thing I'll say, as black women, I think this is just my personal opinion. Um, I think sometimes it's hard for us to get respect in general. And some
Mm-hmm.
of this is society's fault. Some of this is, the fault of the media. Some of it is our fault
Yes.
because of how we, to the point we were talking about earlier, are ashamed to wear our own hair. How, all the way we present ourselves physically, I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that screams self-hate. And as a result, a lot of people don't take, that's the same thing I kept hearing about Kamala throughout the entire time. Nobody took this woman seriously. you
Yeah.
know, and even though she may not look like the average quote unquote black woman, but there's still, it wasn't giving. Like people just kept looking at her like, does she think this whole thing is a joke? Because we need
Mm-hmm.
somebody in the office who's serious.
Yeah.
And she was not giving that. So anyway, those are going to be my some of my top reasons why I think black women um, took this as a personal loss,
Yes.
and could not separate the politics from their own personal
Yeah.
thoughts and opinions.
I think the carpet the compart how you say the word compartmentalize
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
politics from the personal issues, and I think also too when it comes to the personal loss, I think black women, and this is my opinion, felt attached to what Kamala represented in their eyes. You know,
Yes.
the black woman who has to work harder at a job because she's placed there, and how the white man could do less work and skate by. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how it is in your professional settings, but I've worked around black women who worked at spaces where they had to do the extra work. And not to mention, you had a president like Joe Biden who wasn't, let's be clear, wasn't qualified to even run. Joe Biden turns, the time of recording is Joe Biden turns 82 in a week. We talk about a man that's 82 years old in a week, and he didn't want to step down. Then once he had to force to step down, she had to step up and try to take over. And I think a lot of times black women do see themselves in that position where they have to take over, whether it's at the home, whether it's at work, whether with the children, wherever. They feel like they have to take over, and they see a woman that they felt was black, right? Like you said, she never said she was black. And I never noticed that until recently. She never said it, but everybody around her said it for her. And when Janet Jackson said it and that whole thing blew up, that's a whole nother story
Yeah.
for another day, how Candace Owens really went down the rabbit hole about Kamala Harris's racial identity. But
Hmm.
they seen her as the black woman who went to HBCU, who was an AKA, who's worked her way up and got herself to this position, but still can't get over that hurdle because of, I guess the white man is still better. And seeing that in real time, hold on, just continue record. I don't know what happened with my streaming, but to seeing that in real time and people saying like, oh, this is messed up, that we can't get this type of level of respect, even trying to get to the White House, this loss is personal for me. Since now this loss is personal for me, I'm taking out on everybody. Black men, y'all didn't show up enough. Y'all voted what 77% for Kamala. It should have been
Hmm.
higher. I seen a
Wow.
shirt that it says 92%, like the 92% of black women who voted for her, like, oh, we on our own now. We got to hold each other down. Like,
What?
I mean, I'm not even mad at Kamala. I'm mad at the whole Democratic Party on what they presented in front of us. And I think that she was the scapegoat. She was the punching bag to take all the hits. I think she was the
Yeah.
punching bag to take all the hits. And she had to take those hits, take those L's, and keep it moving. And that's what it was for the Democratic Party, because it's time for them to make a whole new rebrand. They can't do the same thing no more. Nobody listen to Cardi B. Nobody listen to LeBron James. Nobody listen to Beyonce. They want to hear
Right.
policies. They know what's in their pockets. They don't care about no celebrities. And they need a whole new rebrand like the Republicans did. But black women did see themselves as Kamala, HBCU, AKA,
Okay.
worked her way up, did what she had to do. In some cases, white husband, you know what I'm saying? In some cases, a woman who put her career in front of having children. So they seen themselves in that person. And once that
Yeah.
person lost, they took that loss personally. I'm seeing some black women online to Kamala losing, acting as the same way black people acted when Martin Luther King died. Like reading the passages of how black America felt when Martin Luther King died. What black
Crazy.
women are acting the same way right now in real time. Like the same thing happened. Like they lost all hope. Like when
Yeah.
MLK died, Malcolm X died, people felt like they lost hope. Kamala
Yeah.
lost, now they feel like they lost hope.
And that is the wildest thing to me, because it's like, where did all this, why do you have so much hope and so much faith in someone who doesn't even claim you? She doesn't even,